भूषण दादा आता सुरू करायचं का की 5 मिनिटामध्ये
चालू करूया आपण चालू करूया इतके ओके
ओके
सिमरन स्टार्ट फर्स्ट इंट्रोड्यूस युअरसेल्फ ओके
okay welcome to our first meeting of English with Fun. Okay, so this is our agenda for today. First, we are going to start with the introduction, my introduction, and then we are going to work on a warm-up, then learn some vocabulary, learn about present tenses, do some SAT practice, and then we will get your assignment for today. Okay, so I'm 17 years old. I'm from Seattle, Washington, in United States of America. I'm currently in 12th grade, and here 12th grade means being in high school. So in my free time, I like to play the flute. I like to teach Python and English, and I'm very passionate about teaching with the creative twist. Okay, so before I start, I want to go over some of the rules. So number one priority is making sure everyone learns English in a fun way. Next thing is make sure you have your assignments done by the next class. And since we are working on Zoom, make sure you're muted in the Zoom meetings. And if you have a question, you can raise your hand, or I personally prefer if you ask your questions in the chat. I can see that here. Yeah. And please take notes during our lessons, and don't be afraid to participate, because being wrong is a step closer to being right. Okay, so I hope everyone has a pencil and paper or something to write on and with. The warm-up right now is, there's a picture on the screen. I hope everyone can see it. There's a house, a lake, forest, and a couple boats. So I'm gonna give everyone about 15 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes to write around 200 words about this picture. Don't just describe the picture, try to create a story. What does this picture make you feel? What does this picture make you think of? Be imaginative. So I'm going to give everyone about 10 to 15 minutes to work on this. I will actually be seeing these. So at the end of this meeting, if you could take a picture, that would be great. Thank you. So everyone take 10 to 15 minutes. In the chat, let me know when you're done writing. Let me know if you guys have any questions too.
Connected, not connected. काय ते बोल
वॉइस का
जेवायला जाईना आजकाल काय नाही ना हे लोडी तुझा स्वयंपाक
चित्र दिलं त्याच्यात दिसतोय खूप भारी त्याचे व्हिडिओ खूप छान आहे. हा ना ह्याचे हे कर तिचं चॅट $200 बघ ना. हा
तू पण बघू शकतो भाऊ, बरी आहे. हे करतात ते हे करता येणार नाही. मी नाही.
धार काढून आणलास. आज शाळेत पोरा पण नव्हती, मॅडम पण नाही असते. केनी मॅडम सावंतवाडी गेले, सावंतवाडी सेंटरला. सरच नाही ना. शुक्रवारची नेऊ होईल पिशेत बघ.
ओम तुमचा म्यूट व्हा ना, तुमचं माईक चालू आहे. ओम
बाळके मॅडम
ओम माईक चालू आहे. ओम बालम
ह्या बाईला काहीतरी इथे काहीतरी मटका टाईप आहे ना. सगळे लोक साफसफाई करायची. It's a stone.
काय करूया त्याला सांगायचं श्री, काय करूया. हा काय करूया. हा होय होय नाही नाही काय ते सांग मला.
Hello. Hello. How we should start the meeting, Simran?
I started the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time management. Okay.
Sorry, what?
Yes, Pangam sir, we should start the meeting now.
I started I started the meeting. There's about like 5 more minutes of writing time.
बड़ा अरे बड़ा जाता है क्या ना. नेट नहीं चलती हालत दिखाता है. हाँ आवाज आता है ना. नहीं क्या है.
Around. Around. Around.
If you are done with the assignment, it'd be great if you could let me know in the chat. Just give a thumbs up.
अभी अगले बोलेंगी अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा बोली होगी
If you are done with the assignment in the chat, it'd be
अभी
great
कुछ
if you
नहीं
could
आता
let me
है
know.
आया
Sorry.
तो मैं जो देता हूँ पानी डाला बोल दिया
It'd be great if you could let me know in the chat what you like to do in your free time.
जरा दिखा
काल गुरुवार होता का
Wow, you guys have a lot of cool activities that you guys like to do in your free time. It's really great to see. You guys can keep doing that, sending me what you like to do in your free time. It's okay if you don't, but now we're going to be moving on to the next slide. We're going to be starting our 2 new vocabulary words for today. One second. Okay, our first vocabulary word is convene. So convene means to bring together for the purpose of meeting. So right now, we are also coming together to learn English. So that is an example of using convene. So we convene for this English class. You can think of it as meet formally. So as you can see in this picture, a lot of people are coming together to meet. So yeah, convene means to meet formally. I would recommend everyone to take notes and write this down. Take a moment to write this down. Okay, I'm going to move on to our next vocabulary word for today. Okay. Our next vocabulary word is ecstatic. So as you can see in this picture, there's a lot of people who are excited, they're jumping, and the definition is feeling overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. So that is feeling really happy. It's a short way to remember it. I'm ecstatic to teach. So that is an example of its use. Take a second to write this down as well. These 2 words will be part of your homework, your assignment. So make sure you're taking notes. It's good to take notes. Okay, so I'm going to move on now. We are going to be moving on to our first tense. So what are tenses? You guys may or may not already know this. The tense may be easy to learn or hard to learn, but wherever you are in your English learning, it is completely fine. Even if you find this hard, it is completely fine. So what are tenses? So in grammar, it is a category that expresses time reference. So our first tense will be present simple. So let's move on to that. Also, let me know if you have any questions in the chat. That'd be really helpful. Okay, this is our first tense, so present simple tense. So some of you may know this, some of you may not know this. Wherever you are, it is completely fine. So present simple. Okay, so we use present simple when we are talking about regular activities, facts, habits, truths, and permanent situations. So let's look at this first example. First example says, I drink milk every day. So this is a regular activity. I actually don't drink milk every day. I should, but this is the statement. I drink milk every day. So because I is drinking milk every day, it is a regular activity. If it was something that was irregular, so if maybe I had a special juice like mango juice, I would say I drank mango juice today, making it a different tense. Here in present simple, we're talking about regular activities, facts, habits, truths, and permanent situations. So here we say I drink milk every day. Yeah. Milk is good for you, but I'm not doing a great job at drinking it every day. Yeah. The next the next example is Sarah works at the store. So this is a permanent situation. 1 second. Okay. This is a permanent situation. So this is something that Sarah does every day. So something she does regularly. So it's a permanent situation. So here we say Sarah works at the store. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the present simple continued. And this is the difference between positive sentences and negative sentences. So let's talk about positive sentences first. In positive sentences, we use the infinitive form. Infinitive form means anything with to and then a verb. So let's go back to the other side and let's look at the infinitive sentences. So to drink, to work, these are infinitives. So we use the infinitive form without to. And we do that for when we are talking about I, you, we, they, he, she, and it. So basically, let's look at our first example. It says, they live in Mumbai. So first we have to look at who are we talking about? So it says they. So we go back to our rules and it says we use the infinitive form without to for I, you, we, and they. So instead of saying to live, we take the to out and use just live. So then instead of saying they to live in Mumbai, we say they live in Mumbai. So that is our first example. Our next example is she starts work at 5 o'clock. So instead of saying to start, we say start and add an S because in this case, we're talking about a she. So, and when we are working with she, we add an S or ES to the infinitive without the to. So it starts with an S. The next thing we're going to be looking at is negative sentences and questions. So this is very similar to positive sentences, but you do add a do/does and follow the same rules. So let's think about the positive sentence, I eat meat. If we want to say we don't eat meat, we say I do not eat meat. So here we're doing the same thing. Instead of saying to eat, we remove the to, but in this case, we add a do. In this case, we're adding a do in front of not to eat because we're not eating meat. So yeah, our next example is why do you eat bananas? So this is a question example. So instead of to eat, a do you is added. And of course, the to is removed because we're taking that from the infinitive form. We're taking the to out. So write these notes. If you have any questions, write them in the chat. We're going to do some SAT practice, SAT grammar practice just one question next. So I'm going to give you guys some time to write this down because it is a lot to write down.
Ma'am, we have to write this all.
You don't have to write all of it, but everything that you need to learn. So you don't have to copy it down word for word, but maybe just write, use infinitive form, take out the to, and then maybe write the examples as well. Also, okay, I would ask everyone to erase all the drawings that they have on the slide. It can kind of be distracting. So if you can, if you have some drawings that you have on the slide, go ahead and erase them. Thank you.
Simran,
There is one question why her word is not work used in she, start, or work. There is
Yeah,
one
I
question
was
in message.
I was answering that question on the chat. So basically, I can say verbally too. So you can actually say she starts her work at 5 o'clock. You can say that. But in this case, I just said she starts work at 5 o'clock. Either one works. In this case, either one works. You can say she starts her work at 5 o'clock, or you can say she starts work at 5 o'clock. Okay. It'd be great if everyone could, yeah, just delete those drawings. Thank you.
Ma'am, we have to write the left part.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to write.
Ma'am, I write all part.
Archit, what are you doing? Archit,
That's great. Good job.
Ma'am, I write all part.
Okay. If everyone's ready, we can move on. Okay, so this is SAT grammar practice. So this
Simran, sorry to disturb you. Sorry
yeah,
to disturb you.
first explain
First,
what is
explain
SAT
what is
because
sad because most of the students don't know about
okay?
SAT.
yeah,
Okay.
I was just about to explain, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So SAT SAT is a scholastic uh, aptitude test. It's basically a standardized test that we take in America to get into college. Now, after COVID, after 2020, when COVID hit, they stopped requiring the SAT for a lot of colleges. They're test optional. You can submit your SAT score, the score you receive on this exam, or you don't have to. But some schools do that though. A lot of schools actually do test optional for this exam. But it is a very useful test to take. There are 3 parts. So there is grammar, which is what we're going to focus on and in this class, and then reading, and then math. But in this class, we are going to focus on writing, grammar. So basically, this is an example of the an SAT grammar question. We are going to focus only on question 2. So I'll let you guys know how these questions work. So this question, as you can see, nothing is written. Basically, what it wants you to do is it wants you to see if the underlined word is correct. So the question is essentially asking, suggest the right word to use in this case. And that is the question you guys are going to solve. The hint is the 2017 study that they talk about, because this sentence says, I'll read the sentence. This is the question. We're only doing question number 2. So a 2017 study conducted by an international team of scientists suggests that a lack of nitrogen in Madagascar's fruits may have caused the lemur to develop these unusual feeding traits through evolution. Now, there is a lot in the sentence. There's lemurs, nitrogen, evolution. The question is suggest the right word to use. So don't distract yourself with all of these other examples. I would just focus on the 2 things, the study and then the tense is suggest the right word to use. So I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to figure this question out and why the answer is what it is. So have an explanation for why the answer is what it is. Don't put it in the chat right now, but when everyone is done after the next 5 minutes, go ahead and.
Ma'am, I didn't understand.
Sorry, what?
I didn't understand what you are teaching.
The question?
No, what you are teaching, I didn't understand.
Okay, if you maybe came late or you want to go over the content, there will be a recorded video posted, so you can use that.
I didn't come late.
Sorry?
I didn't come late.
Okay, which part did you not understand? On this page or other page?
That second page.
Okay, we can go back. Is this the second? Is this the page?
This page teach.
This page? Are you confused with this page?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a grammar passage from the SAT grammar section. SAT is a standardized test that we take in the world, actually, but this is an SAT grammar passage. So right now on the board, you can see 2 questions, right? Number 1 in black, and then on the right side, and then number 2. We're only going to be focusing on question number 2. So basically, as you can see, there's no question written next to number 2. The way SAT works is that they want you to determine if the underlined word, here. Do this with them together.
Noting such spelling कैसे?
See that you can see the underlined word next to number 2. It says suggest, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it says suggest. So you want to you can determine if that is the right word to use. So the answers are no change, suggests, have suggested, and are suggesting. Your job is to choose which.
Not understand.
What part didn't you understand?
Ma'am,
Yeah?
I am not understand.
Okay, okay. Maybe I'll try to explain it again, okay? Okay, 1 second.
Recording म्हणून आहे ना? Recording आहे?
Okay, so basically, this is a passage that is given to you, a paragraph that you have to read, and we are only focusing on the pink highlighted region. So the sentence we are specifically focusing on is a 2017 study conducted by an international team of scientists suggests that a lack of nitrogen in Madagascar's fruits may have caused the lemur to develop these unusual feeding traits through evolution. So here the question is asking, is suggest the right word to use in this sentence? Because this sentence, a 2017 study, blah, 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 that sentence may be wrong. Using suggest in that sentence may be wrong. Your job is to determine if we should keep suggest, if we should add suggests, if we should change it to have suggested, or change it to are suggesting. So it is your job to choose which one, A, B, C, or D, works best in this sentence. So I'll give you guys about 2 minutes to think about this question and why it is you chose your answer, and we'll share this at the end. Okay.
Answer B.
बाबू बनवलंय ते. काय ते बघा. दुसऱ्या कोणाला बनवलं नाही ना? बरोबर
आन्सर विचारले ते सांगायचं.
Okay, so now we are going to go over this question. I hope everyone had a good time to think about it. And let's see if someone can explain why they think their answer is right. If anyone wants to share why they think their answer is right, that would be great. Just so I can see how you guys are thinking. Also, if you guys have a question, it would be great if you could ask it in the chat. It'll be easier to answer the question so everyone can see it later. Oh, okay, so let us go over this question. Okay, let's go over it. So it says there's two things we need to focus on in this specific sentence. Yes, there is a lot. It is hard to comprehend. There's talking about lemurs, nitrogen, evolution. There's a lot. Even I'm not really looking at all of that information. What I'm looking at is the two things that I need to look at. The subject and then the tense. So I'm looking at a study and then the tense. So let's go back to our what we learned today. Because right now we have a study. If we break down the sentence, right now we have a study suggest that. And we just want to know if that is right or wrong or what do we need to change it to. So let's go back. So here we can see that when we are working with he, she, and it, we already have to first remove the to from the infinitive form. So we have to suggest, and then we take out the to, and because, so what do we think? What do we think a study is he, she, I, you, we, they, or it? If you guys can answer that in the chat, that would be great. What is the study?
आता ते टी चेक कर सकते हैं,
It may help to look at your notes.
डिसेबल टी कर सकते हैं, एनोटेट में जायचं, सेटिंग जायचं, क्लियर ऑल
It. It.
Okay, so you guys are right. It is it. So that good job, guys. That is the correct answer. So let's go back. So for he, she, and it, we have right now to suggest. We remove the to, so it just suggests. And for he, she, and it, and we are working with it, we add an s or es to the infinitive. So to the infinitive without to. So we add s to the end. So if we go from to suggest, remove the to, and now we have suggest, and what do we have to do? We have to add s or es. So let's go back and see what the options are. We have A, which is no change. That is just removing the to. We just, from to suggest, we just have suggest. That is what we already have. Then we have B, which is suggest with an S at the end. And then we have suggested, which is in the past. But right now we're talking about the present because it's still suggesting. Like right now, that is what the focus is on. And then are suggesting. So present tense, we are looking at having suggest with the S at the end. So that is option B. So a lot of you guys got that answer right. It is suggest. So a 2000, let's say it aloud. I'll say it aloud so you guys can hear how it sounds. So a 2000, and I'll just say a study suggests. So we'll go like that. So a study suggests that ... Now that doesn't sound too right on its own. So we've learned why that's not right. And then B, a study suggests. It suggests. So that is the correct answer. And then a study have suggested. It is not correct. And then a study are suggesting is not correct. And we'll talk about why are is not the right word to use and why have suggested is wrong in our future lessons. So, yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
what is the question?
What? Sorry? Hello? Okay. So I hope everyone got something out of this this SAT grammar practice. We'll be doing these in a lot of our lessons. So yeah, a lot of you did great. The correct answer is B. So I'll put this correct answer. All right, so that is it for learning today. Now we are going to move on to the next part of it, which is the assignment. Okay, so this is your assignment for until our next meeting. So the assignment is write one paragraph about your usual walk back home. Keep in mind what we learned today, which is present simple in present tense. And under that paragraph, write 2 sentences that use the vocabulary words we learned today. Oh, sorry. Okay. So we do have some extra time here. So if you guys want to take this time to to write and do this assignment, and if you have any questions, let me know.
We have to write, ma'am. We have to write, ma'am.
Yeah, please go ahead and you can start your assignment. Also, don't take any stress for this assignment. I just talk about what you want, but also try to follow the guidelines and keep in mind what we learned, but
We
also,
have to write assignment.
sorry?
We have to write assignment.
Yeah. So take a paper and a pencil or pen, whatever you prefer, and write one paragraph about your usual walk back home, and then write 2 sentences using the new vocabulary words.
सांगितलंय ना. At least 5 lines. Done. Ma'am, what we have to write in the second point? Ma'am, I didn't understand the assessment.
Okay, so basically, um, so when you go to school, right? How do you come back from school? How do you go back home? So tell me about your walk back home from school or from the store, or just talk about the nature, talk about how you feel while coming, like walking back home. Just talk about just your usual walk back home, and try to keep in mind what we learned today as well. So try to talk in present simple tense. So look at your notes and look at those to see how to write it. And then under that paragraph, you can write 2 sentences that use convene and ecstatic, which are the 2 vocabulary words we learned today. Great.
And what we have to do in the second point, ma'am?
Okay, so the second point is writing 2 sentences that use convene and ecstatic. So let me actually go back to what I had for that. Sorry, I'm just gonna go away from that slide for a bit. Okay, see here I said we convene for this class, right? And then here I say I'm ecstatic to teach. So I'm using, okay, I would seriously recommend not drawing on the PowerPoint, but see here I'm using 2 sentence examples of the word ecstatic. See, I am ecstatic to teach, and then we convene for this English class. So we can, like, I use convene. So what I'm asking you to do is, like I did, write 2 example sentences using convene and ecstatic. Don't use the examples I gave, but yeah.
We convene for the school meeting. This is right.
Yeah, it is right.
Thank you.
Meaning of convene. So we went over that, but that's okay. We can go back to see the meaning. So it's when people come together to meet formally. So right now we are convening for this English class. So we're coming together for the purpose of meeting. I'll go back to the assignment slide.
Teacher, we have to write a static example.
Yeah, we can write an example sentence with ecstatic as well. So convene, 1 sentence with convene and 1 sentence with ecstatic.
Please show the static page.
Okay, will do.
We are ecstatic to play.
Yes, works.
Hello.
Yeah, that your example is good.
Thank you. Complete. Complete, ma'am.
Okay, try to write more for this one. Let me show you. If you're done, just use this time to keep writing. Even if it goes past 200 words or it seems like a lot. So, or just any amount of words. Just keep writing your paragraph. So, yeah.
Ma'am, I write all. Ma'am, I
Yeah.
write all.
Okay. Then if you need to keep writing, I would maybe like I asked you guys what you guys did in your free time. I would expand on that. Underneath those two examples, write something, write more about what you like to do in your free time. And make sure when you're done with this assignment after our next couple of 15 minutes, then take a picture and I'll ask you later to upload it to a drive. So remember to take a picture.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what you have to write? Take a word
Yeah, which
dictation.
method you are calling for? Oh, Peshkado. Yeah, go on, right?
Hello, ma'am. Word dictation.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I didn't understand what you have said.
The assignment.
Oh, Adam. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So let me give you an example. Which one are you confused on? The first part or the second part?
Second part.
Okay, so the second part, it says, okay, so second, okay. The second part asks to write two sentences that use convene and ecstatic. So my examples were, we convene to learn English. So that is what we're doing right now. We convene to learn English. So that is one example. That's one sentence. And then another sentence is, I am ecstatic to teach. So that's another example. So what I want you to do is come up with your own examples using convene and ecstatic. Let me know if you want to look at the meaning again of convene or ecstatic. So if anyone has any questions, you can write those in the chat. I'm going to give you an example of what the first part of the assignment can be. So that example, write one paragraph about your usual walk back home. So for me, my usual walk back home, I'm not going to write it, but I'm going to tell you guys. So my usual walk back home is I end my last class, I walk to this street, and then I walk back home. I turn left and I take this route which leads to a pond, and then I keep walking past that pond, and then I take another right, and then there's this park, this playground, and a lot of cars drive by there, and I finally take a left into my community, and then I get to my house, I open my garage, and I get inside my house, and then I get to work. So this is a very simple description of my usual walk back home. What I want you guys to do is be a lot more detailed. Add a lot of detail.
Done, ma'am. Complete.
Okay, if you're done with the assignment, you can, like I recommended to someone else, underneath the 2 assignments, talk about what you like to do in your free time and try to write a lot. Write as much as you can. Don't stop at one or 2 sentences. Keep writing. It'll be good for you to practice writing, because writing, the more you write, the more you learn about.
Playing cricket. Ma'am,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, I have a doubt
yeah.
that in the SAT grammar, that what's the meaning of it?
The what?
In the SAT grammar, what's the
Yeah.
meaning of it?
Meaning of the test?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go over that again, of course. So SAT, I believe it stands for Scholastic Aptitude Test. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure it is Scholastic Aptitude Test, but the test is a standardized test that we use predominantly in America. So it is used around the world, but in America, we use it to apply to college. Because here we don't just have one entrance exam. Here we have the SAT test, and then we have our extracurriculars, and we have to write essays. I'm actually doing that right now. I took my SAT last year to use to get into college, and right now, a year after, I'm applying to colleges. So I'm writing essays. I'm writing. Um, I have my SAT score and a lot of other factors, and then I'm going to give all of that to a college or multiple colleges, and then they'll let me know if they want me to be in their college.
Ma'am, and the second doubt that I have that in SAT grammar,
Yeah.
why is the option C not correct?
We will go over that in because that is the next part of our learning. But let me think about that one. I'll give you a written response, a more thorough response than I can by saying. So I'll let you know.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Recording in
Okay.
progress.
Pretty name. I like your name. So basically, number suggested is one reason why it is wrong is because of the have part of it. So we're going to talk about this in later lessons, but to make this answer choice right, we would have to say a study has suggested, has instead of have, because have is for multiple things. So let's say they have suggested. saying they have suggested would be grammatically correct, but saying it have suggested is wrong. It is not right. So have means you're talking about multiple things. So like multiple people is they, and multiple people, including you, is we. So you would say we have suggested, they have suggested. But here it says a 2017 study. And like we determined, like we concluded, a 2017 study is an it. So what made that answer choice correct is it has suggested. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Done.
Okay, so it was really nice having our first meeting together. I really enjoyed it. I'm also looking forward to getting to know more about you guys in the future. But yeah, keep working on this assignment. If you're done, you're good. Yeah, so you guys can leave now if you want. Um, and yeah, thank you for being here. And this is my number, my email, and yeah. So thank you guys, and good luck with the assignment. It's great talking to you guys. All right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Simran.
Simran.
Yeah, yeah, of course.